everyone, welcome back and happy Valentino's Day, or I guess I should say happy Valentine's Day. Either way it works. So thank you for joining me today for the special event. So we are back here in Eorzea, specifically Gridania, to accept the new quest, No Love Lost. So this is going to be a special limited quest line that we can accept. And we're going to be speaking with Lisette de Valentione. No love lost. Lisette de Valentione has her mitts full this Valentino's Day. 'Tis the season of ardor and affection, and romance is thick upon the air. I, Lisette of House Valentino, entreat you, dearest one, to breathe deep and take love's richness, its cloying rosy radiance, into your bosom. Now hold a moment, traveler. This face, yes, I know it well. You are love's humblest servant, Ardor and adoration's foremost champion. Ah, what a delight it is to see you again, and in such blessed times as these. Alas, every rose has its thorns, and even the fairest of seasons is not without its trials. Indeed, trouble is afoot, and it threatens the hearts of all in this realm. Do you recall a Moogle by the name of Koop, Maleficent Monstro of the Meowed Matters of the Heart? Heart-shaped palm, ring any bells? Ah, excellent, for those woes we speak of, specifically his. Yeah, I remember him from last year. Valentino's Day is a joyous occasion, but not always so for those who acquire themselves as post-Moogles of the realm. Koop has his poor paws full, delivering heartwarming messages far and wide, hither and thither. Though he would never admit it, I fear he's at wit's end. But you, benevolent adventurer that you are, can provide precisely what our hirsute herald requires oh so desperately. Pray lend Koop your talents, and retrieve him from the edge of whereupon his wits now teether so precariously. You are so dramatic. Well, a working adventurer is a happy adventurer, I guess. Gives me something to do. Marvelous! You are a hero through and through. Koop will be so relieved. I shall fetch him at once. I'm surprised that they're still friends, because seeing how well they got along last year. Why could it be? So it is! Claire returned again this year to aid us in another Valentino's Day celebration, have you? Once an emissary of love, always an emissary of love. Koopo! Now then, I heard from Astrid that you would help me in my hour of need, for which I am most grateful. However, it is not the work itself that vexes me, but rather a colleague of mine, a clueless courier newly inducted into our vocation. Every Valentino's Day, we emissaries are overtaxed, and this season has proven no exception. I had hoped to nip this issue in the bud by petitioning the Doopity Post-Moogle for a helping paw or two. He obliged, but has sent someone altogether worthless, an undisciplined Triro. To make matters worse, the daft thing is painfully ignorant in the ways of the heart. You should hear the way she speaks to the clientele. What an ugly gift. Love must be blind. And such nonsense. Leave her to her own devices. I fear she will ruin Valentino's Day. Goodbye. Give the girl the axe, you cry? The impulse is very much with me, I assure you, but I can't rightly turn away the very assistance for which I begged. I would come across as the most wretched and great to ever have wings, yet I have the time to train her, let alone the patience. Fret not, our harried herald. You are right to have sought our help, for I have come across the cleverest of solutions to your predicament. We shall enlist the help of our doughty adventurer and House Valentino's very own Astrid to accompany said callous courier. What? You cannot be surprised at my suggestion. 'Tis a most natural fit. Claire, so skilled in so many subjects, will teach your assistant the delicate art of the post, while Astrid shall instruct the Moogle in the ways of ardor and adoration. There, a splendid plan if I do say so myself. Did you not think to ask us first? Are you both sure you are up to the task? It isn't too great of a bother? Well, at least he's kind enough to ask. What a seasonable relief indeed, Koopo! I shall bring her to you at once, for there is not a moment to lose. I have a feeling we're going to regret this. Oh no, don't tell me it started raining. I hate it when it rains during an event. may I introduce you to my fledgling post-Moogle charge, Pukti Pico, and her loyal chocobo, oh gee, this is rather awkward. I confess your friend's name has slipped my mind, Kupo. Salutations, one and all! As for my chocobo, his name can't have slipped your mind because he hasn't had one. I refer to him simply as my partner dear, or when I'm feeling particularly silly, Bird. Bird? Poor thing. Not only is he dressed up ridiculous, he doesn't have a proper name. Many an acquaintance of mine have attempted to provide him a name or two, but none of them ever stick. Or should I say I always forget them? In any case, you may call him whatever you like. It makes no difference, least of all to him. Poor thing. Yes, well, be that as it may, I have tasked Pussy Puko with 3 deliveries, all of which I would ask you to join her on. These 2 are accompanying me? Very well, who am I to turn away? Whoever you are. Our first stop is the Carpenters Guild. Bird and I shall await you there. Well, at least it's a direct name. Alright. How fortunate Puxi Pico is to be joined by emissaries such as you and Astrid. For what better pair than you and she to teach a poor, benighted post-Moogle the ways of ardor and affection, the pathways of the heart and soul. I don't know why I talk to you. My own deliveries to attend to, I'm afraid, and cannot see this through to its conclusion. Know that all my thoughts and prayers go with you, though. Best of luck, Kupo! Yeah. Okay, let's go. Yes, as I'm sure you can tell, we're all kind of decked out, ready to go for Valentino's Day. Even got our little minion all ready to go. So, for this particular series of quests, you actually get 2 rewards. One of them is a little mobile with little hearts on it, and the other is a barding for your chocobo, which is identical to Bird's post-Moogle gear. Okay. So let's see how bad this goes. Oh, the recipient's out on an errand or some such. A pity. As for the parcel, well, since no one is available to take it, I say we just leave it at any old place. There are other assignments to be getting on with after all. Well, that's not smart. I say, now hold there a moment. I am no post-Moogle, granted. Immediately abandoning a package like this before a door seems a touch disrespectful, does it not? What we have here is a gift, an item crafted with love and care. It deserves to be treated as such. Who is this from anyway? Who is this from exactly? A young woman, if memory serves, daughter to the man meant to receive this. Oh yes, there was something about her training at the Culinarians Guild, I think. My memory is hazy. So it's probably food then. Well, we wouldn't want anyone to steal the parcel. Do you make an interesting point? The man is out on an errand, yes? And since he is with the Carpenters Guild, it stands to reason he's out collecting lumber. And from the Botanist Guild, like us not. We shall start our search there, for a Valentino's Day gift must be delivered straight into the recipient's hands. You know what? I think modern day postmen could learn a thing or two about this. Most of the time they just dump it off in front of a doorway and leave it there. I just need to check here. Is the rain gonna stop anytime soon? No, it is not, is it? Damn! Oh well, I waited so long for a new quest like this, I'm not going to turn my nose up at it now just because of a little rain. Okay, let's look around, see what we can find. There they are, with a loitering carpenter. Yes, what is it? Believe we found the man to whom the package was intended. How could you tell? Delivery for you, sir. You weren't at the guild when we came calling, so we took the liberty of tracking you down. All right, give it here then. Oh, what's all this? Valentino's Day chocolate? Now this is a surprise. My daughter's an apprentice in the Culinarians Guild, you see. I heard she's been selected to make the chocolates for the festivities this year, but I certainly didn't expect to receive any myself. And how wonderful that you did. It's not every day one's daughter is accorded the honor of crafting such a beloved confectionery. She must be quite the culinarian. That she is. My pride and joy, that girl. What a pleasant surprise this package was. Certainly made my day. I can't thank you enough for bringing it all the way out here to me like you have. I'll never forget this kindness. Goodness, seems like a bit of an overreaction of being handed some food, doesn't it? He appreciated that we delivered it with care. Agreed. There is a lesson to be learned there, Putzi. Joy is not meant to be kept to oneself. It's a feeling that yearns to be shared, and we play a part in bringing him happiness, so it's little wonder that he wishes to share his felicity with us. So joy is meant to be shared? Well, when you put it that way, I suppose that's not so foreign a concept. When something makes me smile or laugh, I do tend to talk my companion's ear off about it, and I'm often made the happier for it. Enough about that. Time is wasting. Best be off on our next delivery. The recipient awaits at the Whistling Miller, by the looks of it. Well, that was nice. So I wonder what we're going to be seeing next. I'm slightly concerned for our fair recipient. She appears to be in a state. I wonder, how are you doing wherever you are? I wish I could hear of your travels, your adventures. It's been ages since I last heard from you. Oh. Pardon me, but I have a delivery for you, ma'am. For me? Oh, it's from one of my dearest companions, and look what they've sent. Pink seashells! Are they not extraordinary? Look at their vibrancy. Oh, and a card! Happy Valentino's Day! How delightful! Shells? Empty ones? You can't even eat those! At least the other fellow received chocolate. Puxie is abominably rude. You must forgive our friend here. She is not accustomed to deliveries such as these. There's nothing to forgive, I assure you. I could hardly be upset after receiving a gift like this, and from a loved one I've not seen in quite some time. My friend, you see, is an adventurer in their own right. They enjoy being cryptic, though, and never outright tell me where they have been. Rather, they make me guess by dropping hints in the form of curiosities such as these. What a blessing this parcel is. I was only just wondering how they were faring and where their journeys have brought them. Thank you, Miss Postmoogle. You have brightened my day. Love is a mystery indeed, and a funny one at that. It's my pleasure to tell you, Pooksy, that love is a many-splendored thing, and we each have our own unique way of expressing it. The friendship between that girl and her adventurer companion is a perfect example. That gift, which appeared mere flipperty to you, was a treasure in her eyes. I kind of like the first one, but... I don't think she's in La Nocia. Maybe she's traveling the Ruby Sea. That might be interesting. I suspect you're right. Outside of a few specialty traders, seashells of that quality and color cannot be easily found in the landlocked regions of the realm, after all. So you mean to say this was her friend's way of telling the young woman that all is well? Their way of assuaging any worries that she might be harboring about their safety? How fascinating. To be sure, were I to be separated from my bird here by expensive seas or vast mountain ranges, I'd like to hear from him from time to time. Perhaps not every day, that would be irksome. But to know that he's in good health would not be altogether disagreeable, I suppose. She really loves that bird, doesn't she? Anyhow, no sense in losing ourselves in thoughts, not when a parcel sits burning a hole in my satchel, Kupo. Our next delivery takes us to Apuku Falls. Let's away! Koopo away! I think that's a sweet idea. Sending somebody, like, clues of where they are. That probably wouldn't work around this world because it's so vast with so many different regions, but hey, I think that would be cool. Really, it ought to be here by now. Don't tell me my gift has fallen afoul of bandits on its journey here. This will be our third and final delivery of the day. Goodness, I don't know how these mookles do it. Greetings, sir. I have for you here a parcel from one of Udall's premium art dealers, Koopo. At last! Her earrings, they've arrived! Goodness gracious, how stunning they are! This craftsmanship, this meticulous attention to detail. I couldn't have hoped for a better present for my wife. She'll be over the moon to receive them. Her birthday is coming up, you see, and I wanted to ensure her special day is just that. I even given Koop Palm a vigorous pat. I hear tell that one touch is enough to bring a couple happiness for all their years to come. Let us hope so. You did well to bring this all the way out here without a scratch on them, you know. I've begun to worry that by the time I received them, the poor things would be nothing more than scuffed, dented rocks. You've a bright future ahead of you in the postal service, friend. Thank you. Well, okay. This is odd. There's a flutter in my chest, a tickle in my stomach, Koopo. Have I taken ill? Or do compliments and words of gratitude always elicit this sort of response? Trust me when I say you are not ill, Pukti. That flutter you feel, those ticklish sensations you described, that is a fondness, a form of love indeed, and it was made manifest by that man's appreciation for what you provided. Oh, so this love nonsense. Why, it isn't nonsense at all, is it? It's quite wonderful, actually. I liken it to that feeling when my bird and I settle down for an afternoon nap in the 12th wood, when I tuck myself under his wing and we are warmed by sunlight breaking through the trees. Perhaps you haven't mastered the concept entirely, but I do believe that we are making strides in the right direction. You certainly seem more attuned to the ways of the hearth than when we first made your acquaintance, at any rate. Now that all three parcels have reached the right hands, let us return to Makito's amphitheater. No doubt Koop is anxious to hear how Puxi fared. Alright, let's head on back and wrap this little quest up. Here they are, our agents of affection, our heralds of the hearts, returned at last, and not before time, Koopo. Tell me, how went your deliveries? Splendid, each and every one. The recipients were all thrilled to receive their parcels, and I'm pleased to say that Puxi Pico learned something along the way. Yes, I do believe I did. Love is, well, it's quite a bit more complicated than I first imagined it to be. There are hidden depths to it, one I didn't see before. I may not be an expert on the subject yet, but I would like to think my ignorance is not quite as dire as it once was. We are making progress, certainly. I'm glad of it. And just so long as you did not offend anyone, I could not ask for more. Anywho, I'm indebted to you, Astrid, Claire. You have spared at least 3 citizens of the realm from potential cruelty, however unintended it may have been. No, I'm being too harsh, Puxi. You have shown a true, conservative effort to understand the labyrinthian complexities of the heart, and as a reward, I'm inclined to set you to another task. For in truth, your work is not yet finished. Much work is there to be done this Valentino's Day, Koopo. When you've the time, speak with me again, and I shall tell you all about it. Ooh, are we getting more quests here? Yep, looks like it. Loves labors. Oh, and that's where we get the barding. Koop has the matter of the heart on his mind.
1 hour later.
Okay, pause it there just real quick. That's okay. So we are back, about to accept the next part of the quest line. I just got so sick of the rain, I wanted to do this where it was bright and sunny. So let's go ahead and take on the quest from here, which is, of course, Love's Labors. So we're going to be getting the post-Moogle barding, which is adorable. Here we go. There you are, not a moment too soon. Your unwavering devotion to the ways of ardor and affection, love and romance, courtship and intimacy is both commendable and deeply appreciated. So to the task of which I spoke, it involves a young woman by the name of Eorzea, who only just posted a parcel with no small amount of urgency. However, she then returned, begging us to call off its delivery. Highly unusual request in her eyes. Twin pools of sorrow, Kupo. She fled straight away ere I could even get my bearings, let alone ask what troubles her. So, will you help me seek her out? You are too kind! Now, as for this young woman, she is of Elizin of great beauty, and thus should not be an easy one to overlook. Last I saw her, she just made a sharp left at the fork in the road, unless my eyes deceived me. How can you see anything? To the left, you say? That way lies the Great Lone Growlery, if I'm not mistaken. I will accompany you there, Koopa Koop. Claire, Pooksy Pico, you two will look near Nofika's altar. Should you come upon her before we do, come find us at the Growlery. I have some suspicions. Like, maybe she's trying to ask someone to marry her, but she's suddenly chickened out? I don't think so, but hey. Ooh, maybe it's like a secret admirer thing. I think that would be adorable. Oh, found her pretty easily. There's women here. Could this be Adoui? I'm not much of an aesthetic, but I know an Elizin when I see one. Well, that's not very uncommon in this place. Who? Me? Yes, I am Eloise. Why do you ask? Koopa Koop wants to see me, you say? But whatever for? He's beside himself with worry, Koopo. He told us you turned tail and darted off, looking dreadfully stricken, downright morose. You can understand his concern, surely. I see. I owe him an apology for worrying him as I have, and an explanation for my frantic flight as well. Kupka's still at Makito's amphitheater, correct? I'll go join him at once. Actually, Never mind, she's already gone. I suppose I shall go and fetch him then, shall I? Meet us at the amphitheater, Claire, and do hurry, we wouldn't want her dashing off again. Okay, let's go. I'm actually quite curious now. Well, at least she thought to meet us here. Let's speak to Eloise. Find out what upsets her so. How fortunate that you have come across her with such ease. In retrospect, I realized my description was rather subjective. Such a look of heartbreak as never I've seen on a woman. There must be something we can do for her. You better at least get another empathy about love for our troubles. First, let me start by saying how grateful I am that you would think to come and check on me. The truth of the matter is, I received an offer of marriage. I meant to accept, which is why I came to you initially, Kupka, to see that my reply would be delivered safely. However, as I was writing to tell him yes, I found myself hesitating more than I ought to have been. I began to wonder if I was making a terrible decision, not only for me, but for him as well. The man who seeks my hand is of Ishgardian nobility and goes by the name Azomail. At the moment he is quite ill and is seeking treatment here in Gridania. Do not misunderstand me. I was overjoyed to hear of his devotion. A life spent with him would be a wonderful thing. But I'm no noble. I'm of the most common stock, no more special than a weed underfoot. I wasn't raised with the aristocratic manners a future wife of his requires. Who am I to marry into nobility? I must destroy my previous message and pen a new letter, one telling him I can't go through with it, but that I'll hand deliver. I won't have an emissary of love delivering such ill tidings. Now, I don't pretend to be an expert in the ways of the heart, but isn't love the desire to be with someone forever and on? The desire for a trusted partner in this world, someone with whom you can share your joys and your woes? If you care for him, be with him. Wouldn't it upset you to do anything but? Certainly seems to have. I may not have much experience with this, but I know that were I and my chocobo to be separated, I wouldn't like it. Not one bit. I don't believe giving up is the solution, Kupo. Verily, I myself am of Ishgardian nobility and can thus speak from a place of authority. Each of our houses has its own traditions. It is our titles that connect us, not our principles. Before making your decision, seek the counsel of your beloved and learn what his family values. I cannot agree more. After all, it is doubts you harbor, not a lack of affection. If you believe his heart to be yours entire, then trust that he will listen to your troubles, that you and he can solve them together. Why not send one more letter, explain what it is that vexes you? Yes, I see your point. It's unfair of me to hide my feelings like this. He's owed my honesty, but how does one even write such a letter? I wouldn't know where to begin. Perhaps you should explain your apprehension about fulfilling your duties as wife to a man of a great house. Make it clear that should you decide to join his social milieu, you will require time to study, learn, and train before you are comfortable. A word of warning, though, to compromise the very woman you are in order to bend to the rigors of nobility may leave you jaded, haggard, and altogether infuriated. Thus I suggest you first inquire as to whether his family is capable of accepting you as you are. Why not simply write down all your worries? I don't fancy myself a poet of passions or what have you, but there's something to be said for getting everything out in the open. All these ideas have a great deal of merit, and each should be given due consideration. Claire, what say you? Which of these notions has struck a chord with you? Well, I like the second one, not compromising, but in marriage you gotta have to compromise on some things. Yeah, let's go with the third one. Tell him exactly what concerns you. Thank you for your insight, everyone. I believe I know what I must do now. Then let us fetch you parchment, quill, and ink. Fortunate that you have us, you know. For we emissaries are never far from instruments of the post. Why, I shall even provide you with Valentino's Day themed stationery. There, it's done. Now all that's left is for him to read it. My darling is likely in the gentry's ward. I know he enjoys sitting in solitude on a bench not far from the gates. He'll be there like as not. And that's where we shall try first. We'll be back with his response as soon as we are able. Tally ho, bird! Love's work awaits! Oh dear, I'm so fidgety. I just can't sit still for nerves. No, I can't take this any longer. I refuse to stand idly by while my future is decided without me. That does it. I'm going to the gentry's ward this instant. How is he? You can't... And she's gone. Our duty as emissaries of love and affection demands that we see this lovelorn last through this trying time. I shall meet you at the gates of the Gentry's ward. Once again, we're left to follow. Yeah, that's what I thought. It sounded familiar, and then I realized, like, yeah, that's the same place where that guy from Hawk Manor is always hanging out. We rarely have any occasion to go there now that I think of it, other than him. Oh, they're hiding. Let's just stroll on by. Yes, might I help you? Oh goodness, my tummy's wound itself into one huge knot, Kupo. I must be more nervous than I thought. There, you are good to come, but leave us post-Moogles to our work. Never stopped you guys before. The man there must be Elzamile, the well-to-do bureau of whom Elowen spoke. I'm sorry to have run off again like that. I just couldn't wait around twiddling my thumbs over another moment more. We have for you a letter from one Miss Aloysia herself. Kupo? Message from my love? Thank you kindly, Post-Moogles. Perhaps it's not my place, but if I may... Ozzy thinks a great deal of you. We watched her as she wrote that letter you now hold, and we could see, plain as day, how much she cares for you. If there's love to be found in this world, it's there, in every word she's put to that page. The heart and its intricacies aren't my forte, I admit, but if you've even half as much affection for her as she has for you, then what you two share is something wondrous. I only hope that you can both weather whatever troubles come your way. The heart isn't my forte, indeed. For one who claims such a thing, you show remarkable perceptionary in the matter. You are quite changed from the Moogle I once knew. Color me impressed, Kupo. You are kind to concern yourselves over mine and Eloise's affairs. Your kindness does you a great deal of credit. He knows. I shall pin my response this instant. Can I trust that you will deliver it straight to her once I've finished? We serve at your pleasure. Your trust is not misplaced in us, good sir. Did you hear that? He's going to reply. We should return to Makito's amphitheater at once. I don't want to be here when he sent our post-Moogle friends all the way back there. Well, they'll have to pass you on their way. Yes, it would be rather awkward were his letter not to have no recipient. Let us explain the situation to Lisette and wait for Puxi and Kupka's delivery. I have a feeling like that's not going to be a problem. Okay, there's no way that it's not going to be a happy ending at this point. But, hey. I've heard stranger tales. Why is the weather so bad these days? Okay, let's go. Everyone's waiting. Let's hope it all ends with tears of joy rather than sorrow. I hope they return soon. Maybe I'm being silly, but I'm rather nervous to see what my darling has to say. Our meet emissary of adoration and affection is with us once more, and now we are assembled. We've only waited for the custodians of Ezomile's reply. I feel sick to my stomach. What if I've angered him? What if he calls off the whole engagement? If it was that simple, then you two were clearly not meant for each other. We have returned, and with your beloveds painstakingly pinned post and paw. Puxy Pico, I was drawn to your advice in particular. I wrote down all my worries, concerns, and questions in a clear and concise fashion, and he responded with, well, with some confusion it seems, although now at least he's aware of what troubles me, and for that he says he is grateful. He's very sweet here, you see. He tells me that together we will go down this list of mine and solve one problem at a time, where we live and how we will live up to us to decide, not his family. I've come to ensure my letter has reached you and see if you have yet to read it. After all, you did the same for me. It would be unkind to not return the favor, no? Oh gods, how embarrassing! You caught me spying on you, didn't you? You're embarrassed? For what, pray? I found it endearing, my darling. Ah, those companions of yours. Did they not assist you in writing to me? Then we are in your debt. Aloysia, my love, what say you to tea at the Carling Canopy? There we can discuss our future, a conversation which is long overdue, I should think. Thank you, my friends. Where would I be without your help? And I promise yours will be the first invitations we post once we settled on a day. Aww. Goodness gracious me, do my eyes deceive me? Puxy Pico, your palm! Oh no, don't tell me. Why, it's adopted the very same shape of the season, and is a lovely beyond compare, Kupo, and as much of a muchiness with mine, or so I flatter myself to think. I can't rightly explain it, but seeing those two together brought a flutter to my chest, a spring to my wings, and the next thing I knew, my palm began to tingle in the most peculiar of ways. It's just as much a marvelous thing to know that we have had a hand in ushering Ezomile and Eloise's story into the next chapter, and I think it was all performed strictly through the hearts of the post. Affectionate missives are more than just the silly photos I assumed them to be. I see now that they show what's in our hearts like nothing else can, and we emissaries are their trusted custodians. I had no idea that a palm could change will like that. That we are, Puxy. Only do remember that letters require more than just love. They are also in need of names and addresses. And speaking of names, perhaps you might bestow one upon a certain chocobo. Think of it as a show of not only kindness, but of love, too. A show of love, you say? I suppose you're right. I was never able to recall the names given by my Moogle acquaintances, but I bet I could arrive at something that actually sticks. I will give it some thought. Make sure I've done this bird justice. Well, I'm sure it made it happy. My once foolish fledgling has wings of her own at last. How proud I am to see you soar. You are a credit to the emissaries of ardor and affection with your heart-shaped palm. It is my most sincere honor to have you among our ranks, and I pray that you will continue this most revered work. I would love nothing more, Kupo! I had no idea that palms can change shape like that. How does that work? What joy to be blessed with so many courtiers, and in this season of sublimely no less. 'Tis heartening indeed to watch our numbers grow and grow, for with so many we can ensure that ardor and affection accompany all the fair creatures of the realm whence their journeys take them. Oh boy, this is exhausting. Okay, yay! It's over! Quest complete! Oh, is that it? Oh, wow. Honorific... I can't pronounce that. Where did they come up with that name for that reward, for that achievement? Oh, how lovely it is that you have taught Puxi Pico the meaning of love. I dare say you find yourself exhilarated and eager for more. I must admit that the change to Puxie's palm took me quite off guard. Does that happen often, do you think? Does it hurt? I guess not. Okay, and ooh, it looks like we have some extra quests here. Better letters. Okay, so this looks like it's a limited time quest, but I think we'll go ahead and save that for later. Okay, so we got our post-Moogle barding. And we have the Valentino's mobile, which you can actually get from over there. I'll show you real quick where you can get it, just to make sure. It's from the proprietor of love. Okay, and you can also get some fireworks here. So I think that's going to be it for right now. I am going to be doing the small little side quests as soon as I can. But until next time, everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing Valentine's Day or Valentino's Day. See ya!